cool. So, hi. I want to do something a little different. And pretty much, as the title suggests, it's just, I want to look at some old sketchbooks. It's kind of funny because I never thought to do this before, and it's been so long since I've looked at these sketchbooks or looked at these things. Like before I had sketchbooks, I would get like a binder and I would just put copy paper on them and do 3 hole punches, and I would take that, I would just carry that around with me everywhere. So today we're gonna do a sketchbook tour. Oh, we're gonna do a sketchbook tour, and I'm surprised to what I will find, and I'm pretty certain like good memories will come back. But one I've already looked through. This is like a Shinola Detroit that you can see. I'm gonna put it down here. It's like a Shinola Detroit sketchbook that I bought back when they were like $21. Excuse me, $21. And I know for a fact, like, this thing is not full. Like, this is not cover to cover filled with sketches. But I'm pretty certain once we open it up, we'll find out what's going on. And I know, like, when I was younger, like, as you can see, this is like 2017. I want to do like a lot of thoughts and writing and things such as that nature, because I want to kind of like dive into more storytelling. And that's of course like when I was like big in comic books. But right here is like a very old Barry the Banana sketch. He doesn't even look like this anymore, but this is going to be a reoccurring character that you'll see throughout these sketchbooks. But I probably will show you the very first version of him if I can find him. But as you can see, just like sometimes I would just be in these sketchbooks and kind of like be spacey, quasi really bad character design. But yeah, man, I just tried to have fun, but I didn't know how to really take myself serious when I was drawing and sketching. And I have a math is fun, and then I just simplify this equation. I was one of them. This is another character. As you can see by the hair, this is another character that you'll see frequent throughout my sketches and like all my books, because this is gonna be I had this really magnus opus idea of like not only Barry the Banana but also this comic book called Up, which is just, think of every anime trope you can think of, and it's in that story. And so, more notes and stuff. I think I was like buying a camera lens here and I was just doing some notes. But here you have Barry the Banana and Percy the Cucumber. Yeah. I think maybe, I don't know when I drew this, but it says 19, so 12/31/19, right? So this is right before COVID. Wow. And it's just like another sketch of Barry the Banana, Percy the Cucumber. And yeah, there's some compositional things, like this doesn't have a date, but things that I was just like, you know what, I just need to draw something. And this is like a logo design I was working on for a friend, and it never amounted to anything, as you can tell. And then yeah, here's a sketch 124/20 of just like random lady. I don't even know if I was even looking at a person or not, but you can tell I was out of practice during this time because there's nothing to scale, and it's all like just kind of wonky sketches, and there's like really no intent behind there's no contrast or anything. I was probably just doing this from my mind. Oh, this is actually this is something that a friend sketched in here. Wow. Okay. This is something, I think this is Yeah, I think this is Romney. Yeah, Romney. Yeah, Romney Funderburg. He drew this in here. Descendants of the Great Sky Orange. And you can see the Great Sky Orange back there. But here's Barry the Banana, like climbing on a cliff. And he's like, you know, looking out below. And it's a little rock. But yeah, look at this. I like this, man. And I'm gonna probably revisit him a lot more, and then showcase some things on his channel. But he was a children's illustration character that I was coming up with, and over time, I mean, of course, college, school, trying to find a job after school, and then the pandemic hit. And when I told you, like, I did not draw really at all during the pandemic. He was one of those characters that I was just like, oh, I'll always come back to drawing him. Like, he was kind of like that saving grace of just like, you can always find a way back to just being the kid in you. You can always get back to being that. And so, yeah, you'll see a lot more Barry the Banana, because he's a character that he's inquisitive, but he's also gullible. But he's also a kid, and he's going on these adventures trying to solve adult problems. So, yeah, he's kind of just the embodiment of just like me, in a sense. And here's Barry the Banana with Percy the Cucumber. I'm so glad that as I moved forward, I began to redraw and redesign, especially like Ophelia the Orange that you see here, and Percy the Cucumber that you see here. I redesigned them and made them totally different. They look totally different than what you see here, and I can probably pull up the finalized designs of them. But yeah, oh my goodness. But you could see, like, look at this dude. He's just so cute. And they're like walking through a forest or something. And I probably was drawn with mechanical pencil at that time. So this is Stephanie Strawberry, another character from that cast of characters. Little travel suitcase. But again, her design changed over time too. And then just more notes. Oh, and this here. This is kind of like the bully of the class. Pineapple Pat. Yeah, and so funny enough, I based him off of this toy. I'm gonna show you this toy. I based him off of this toy right here. And you can see with the middle design that I was just like, I want to go with something cute, but I want to make sure that it angles along like the design of pineapples. So of course this is just like a really rough concept of what he would look like, but in time I knew I wanted him to like still be cute, and I'm probably gonna make his pupils bigger. I'm probably gonna get back to like something simple, more simplified of this design, like with the sprout of the pineapple. And there might not even be 5 or 6, because one, that's just a lot to draw. But Pineapple Pat is, and this is a dog toy, like just, yeah, it's, yeah, the stuff that goes on in my upstairs area. Pray for me. Yeah, it's just more thoughts and more like, this is Percy and Barry like getting into a fight here, and then just more times of me, yeah, just writing, getting thoughts down. Yeah, just making sure that, yeah, just like this. And this is just sketchbook 1 of many. But yeah, I'm probably gonna revisit like drawing in this sketchbook specifically. I don't know what exactly I'm gonna put in here, but I'm certain that, yeah, I'm certain I'm gonna begin to fill this one up again, because it's like the nice travel size. It's it's just a nice color too, and then the feel of it. This, like, I know Shinella does a lot of like repurpose, and this is just like I was testing Pigma markers there, if you can see. So yeah, I mean the feel of it is great. It's like repurposed material, just something that I always enjoyed, and this is just like a staple with me. I love to have like the bookmark marker in there just to tell me, hey, you're on this page. And it's just so nice and so fun to have this. And then also they had the strap kind of like mimicking moleskin, and I have a lot of moleskin sketchbooks. But yeah, man, I've just always been appreciative of every sketchbook I've bought. I try to keep them in good condition. And that's just the thing with me. I like to keep them in like the best shape. But on to the next one. So these other sketchbooks, I have yet to look inside them. I don't know what's in there, or I've forgotten what's in there. So I don't know if I should go with the red one here, or go with the one that has a whole bunch of dust on it. So yeah, I don't know which one I should go with. Yeah. Let's go with the black one. The one with all the other names on it. Look at that. Look at this dust, man. That the strap left dust. Look at this, man. I haven't touched this thing in I don't know how long. But here we go. Oh, in case of loss, hold on. In case of loss, please return to Old Main Room 3125. As a reward, money, a free gummy worm, a free hug, gummy worms, and 50 cents. Signed by me. Oh boy, I was on something. Oh, well, look at that. So like this is like stuff from like work that I just taped on from a sticky note. Interesting. But there's some art underneath here. So this is 8/6/16, and we're just gonna peel that up more and more. But yeah, just a profile of a girl. Wow, that's actually really good. Wow. Kit Kat stuck in the air conditioner. I don't know. I just heard somebody say that and I wrote it down. But yeah, that's actually really nice. Wow. You know, it's interesting. I don't have a lot of color in these things, but we're gonna put that back right over there. Look at that. Oh wow, just as I said, there's not a lot of color in here. Here's some color. But oh yeah, you'll see this character pop up a lot more. Actually, you'll see these two characters pop up a lot more, because these were original characters that I was developing for that comic book that I mentioned earlier, Up. Yeah. Oh man. And it says here, if you were given one thing you could change about the world, what would it be? What is a moonlighter? Alright, whatever that means. But yeah, this is the original character. Her story was like a forbidden love story on an alien planet, and they had orange skin and green hair, like Oompa Loompas, basically. And then, yeah, he was a part of Up. So, yeah, like you can see, like the striations in their muscle fibers in their shoulders are different. But wow. And her name, I have her name I'm not gonna say her name right now, but yeah, wow, her eyes were green. Yo, dude, I gotta find, like, there's another sketchbook where I have a lot of her conceptual art, not only of her but also her world. This is like, yo, this is like sweet, man. This is sweet, dude. Okay, I think I was in the barber shop when I was here. And then just giving myself notes, and I think I was just drawing clothes and studying drawing clothes. I think I was drawing somebody here, like leaning forward, looking at their computer and a chair. But like, of course, like, Moleskin, the markers. I think there's like old Copic markers. They just bled through the page really hard over here. And that's probably why I strayed away from a lot of color in these notebooks, because I like to use every page as best I can. But yeah, oh yeah, some school stuff. I don't even know what's going on here. Yeah, I can't even tell you what's going on here. Like, here's a squirrel with a nut. Oh, Mr. Mickey Mike Sims. Okay. This is a very far-fetched idea me and my brother came up with a squirrel that wanted to murder him. But what's going on here? Let's turn this way. I can't even tell you what's happening inside this image. Like, there's a guy standing and pointing. Looks like a face. Looks like another guy. Looks like a leg coming out. And looks like two people right here. One's running, one's crawling, and then a face, a really giddy face. It was undergrad. That's all I'm gonna say. That's undergrad. Oh yeah. So this is the character you were just looking at in color earlier, and I did a draw this in different styles challenge on like Instagram, but this is this here. So I drew her in multiple different styles, like general comic book, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra style, Ed, Nettie, Yeesh, Korolkova, Kids Next Door. This is relatively my style at the time. Jamorgand, very obscure anime, DBZ, Bleach, and Danny Phantom. And, you know, I was really, you know, I'm not even gonna hold myself. Like, I was actually pretty solid. 2016, you know, it's interesting, like, you can have all these sketchbooks, and funny enough, like, when I got done with school, because I really didn't know how to look for a job in the art industry, because I didn't know how to look for a job in the art industry, and then I didn't know how to apply, and I really didn't know how to put a portfolio together. This is something that could have been there. Like, you can, even though it may be one face, you can draw in multiple styles. You can test your limits to, like, look at something distinctively. Or, hold on, I want to say that differently. You can test your skill in order to make something look distinctively as someone else's work. Like, I had that ability. Like, yeah, there's some line variation and quality that I could work on. You can tell I'm drawing with like mechanical pencil because all my lines are the same weight pretty much. This is something, like, I guess I just didn't have the confidence in promoting myself. So here's like some perspective practice. Yeah. Like a little train track, railroads and stuff like that. Gotta have an obligatory Batman that says create right there. Wow. I don't know these next couple of pages. Another Batman that says create. Goodness. I must have been mad at myself. Look at that. Batman looking serious. He says create. And then the next one says, is basically another Batman. And he says create as well. Look at that. That is funny. And then this Batman says create too. Now, I don't think I can show it right there down at the bottom. He says create too. Goodness. He says create too. That's pretty funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, she keeps popping up in this sketchbook. But her name is Ain Talraft. And this is the character that you saw with the orange skin earlier. This is what I was going over some wow, I was going over like some conceptual work and like building up the story. But yeah, planet Atreyu, race Raftian, sorry, skin color orange, hair color green or jade. And then her age is 17, but it's technically 51 Earth years. And her height is 5 feet 8 inches, right? And then there's Khalil Malik. So this is, the story was, oh boy, the story was primarily just a forbidden love story. Kind of Romeo and Juliet style, but aliens, but also there's a bunch of accidents that happen. So think West Side Story, but with like a lot of more accidents and like weird freaky stuff because it's a foreign planet. But this is what he looked like, and I think this was like the finalized design that I was working with. Wow. But yeah, and on that planet they had like 5 different factions, but like multiple of the factions like either died off or they and I have all this written down, and it's in one of these notebooks that's lying around here. But they had these factions die off, and then one faction died off. One basically was like killed by genocide, and then there's like the Malik, the Raftians, and then there's another group, another faction, and then there's like some other people from the other faction that are still alive, but they're in hiding. And so there was just, dude, I was on some other stuff, and this is 2016. I was on some other stuff. Wow. I was really on some other stuff, but yeah, forbidden love story. And they don't really have superpowers, but he gets into an accident. He gets superpowers from that accident, and it's not like a technology thing. It's like the planet chooses him, and so the Malik race kind of like rides on that, and they're not supposed to fall in love with each other because the two of them are from these separate factions, and they meet before he gets his powers. And it's, yeah, the planet doesn't, oh man, I'm remembering this story, and it's, oh my goodness, oh my, wow, this is so good. Oh wow, I'm remembering this story. I'm not trying to, let's keep going. Wow, I just geeked so hard. So some anatomy practice. Bury the banana again. Here's Ain anatomy practice. I think this is like from George Bridgman's book. Self-doubt is the biggest liar of them all, Michael. You can do it. Stay open. Bury the banana, old design. Here's Ain again. Yeah, here's some hand practice, some very old hand practice. Yikes. But yeah, here's some notes. Yeah, here's things that people would tell me. I would write down things that people would tell me. Just like, oh wow, this person said this. I can't believe it. That really helped me that day. Yeah, just notes and stuff. And these are actually, wow, these are like initial concepts for the story I'm currently working on, romance story of Emily and Lori. And wow. And funny enough, like, they kind of look the same still. I mean, not like in this design, but this is back in 2016. Not in this specified style, because I grew differently as an artist, like, but the hairstyle is similar. Oh, definitely. She kind of looked like Hey Arnold. But yeah, notes, and this is Aim's sister, and this is like, I was doing some perspective practice here. I'm not certain as to what I was trying to achieve or what I was trying to make, but hey, it's there, and it's, yeah, I don't know what was going on though, or what I was trying to do. Maybe I was trying to draw something for, conceptually, for her planet, or for her like living situation, for Aim's living situation, but yeah, that didn't get, yeah. Yeah, stuff. Oh, that was safety day for a class I was in. And you can kind of see, like, sometimes my brain is not the most organized. Because I got, like, stuff from school and then stuff from... But sometimes this would be the only sketchbook or notebook I had. Or if I could find a cheap notebook, like a lined notebook, I would just buy it, like, right then and there. It was like 50 cents, 25 cents, or 75 cents. I'll buy it and be done. That was sometimes like the only notebook I had. Yeah, look at this. Water Nation, Fire Nation. Yeah. And this is for a project in school where we were making like cutout shapes, and those cutout shapes basically would, they like be like notches and slide into each other. And it was a really good project because it kind of helped me look at like negative space a little differently. And I remember throwing that thing away after I was done with the project. Yeah, this was like the initial shape, and then basically you would have like the other notches, which looked like this and like this and like this. They would just slide into those different things. I hated that class. Getting into the warrior sketches. I remember this crap. It was good crap though. Really good crap. So these are like concepts. I shouldn't be calling it crap. It's just sometimes when you have an original idea that's tainted, when you look back at it, you begin to think to yourself, okay, this was cool as this. And then people try to come on and like create it and make it into something else. And sometimes it is for the better. Trust me, it is for the better. And then sometimes ideas should remain as ideas. Like, you shouldn't attempt everything. I mean, it's good to try and practice and in theory, but sometimes things should remain as like personal projects. That's what I'm trying to say. Personal projects that you just put out with, and you kind of have to exclude other people, because when something is still in its infancy and it's trying to be built up by multiple people, there is no vision for it to get lost. But over time, you realize that there are so many different things being influxed that didn't have the intention for that. Like that wasn't the original intent, but you're open to those ideas. See, I'm just going down a rabbit hole, and I just really don't want to I don't want to spend time because this is like a rough patch. This is actually in part where I started to not draw anymore. You can even see like from here, like from just the sketches, it's like it kind of just like, I'm like, what? And I just leave them as is. And maybe I like took these and like put them into and I put them in digitally, but this is, over time, this was something that made me very mad and upset. But like the designs and the thoughts were cool. Like he's supposedly like floating over the building there. Yeah. And then here's like the main sketch of him. Deron Daniels. Yeah. And so over time, like it just became a thing. Like, did I want it to be a thing? Yeah. But then at the same time, like visions, like I said, get tainted. And they become something that you don't want to become. And then I made Bobby. Bobby was like kind of the reaction. That was the cynicism that I was able to get out. And Bobby was just... Bobby said it all. Bobby said the things that I couldn't say. He was just a really cynical kid with a striped cap. And so here we have more designs of the warrior, like what his body shape was like, chest, legs, arms. He was cut up, man. He was cut. More cut than a Julian salad. But yeah, he was, ooh-wee. Yeah, put that in. Oh man, he was nice. Like, he was nice for real. Good Lord. Like, I thought about stuff like, what's his boot shape? You know, how does the logo look here? You know, how like shredded do I want him to be? Do he wear gloves? Do he not wear gloves? How does the end of his suit come to his wrist? You know, what is it like? It's like a mesh material underneath here. And then here he goes again. It's just like, oh yeah. And then also, in part, and I'm sorry I have to go through like all these like good memories and bad memories associated with this character and what I was thinking I wanted him to be. There's like people that ask like really good questions, and then there were like really petty questions that came about during this time. And something that I wasn't ready to do when making this character was take on those questions. I didn't have a thick enough skin. And that was the hard part. I really had to deal with. I had to deal with people asking necessary questions, which over time I saw like, oh wow, yeah, I can incorporate that. That's actually smart. I didn't think about that. And then there were people that were just completely rude. But of course, this was like, this design I moved on from. I think this was after or before I did like this conceptual stuff. I think I did this conceptual stuff after, because I had this initially and it was just like basically a classic body morph suit with a hoodie. And then I started to do like all the conceptual stuff that we have here. But he was shredded though. I know that for a fact. He was shredded though. And then I thought about like giving him like a face mask with a hood. I mean, he already had the hood, but like face mask, then face mask with hood. And yeah, just yeah, these are notes. More notes. Notes and notes and notes. Here's just another sketch. And here's like some like making sure like his chest is like big and superhero like. But here's a recipe for cheesecake. And yeah, just wanted to make sure like he was like a big meaty dude. Tall, big meaty dude. And then more recipe for cheesecake. And then like experimenting with like, what does its back look like? How long is that hood? Cause the hood gotta be long and big so it like flows over. Like different poses or just circles and stuff. And then he's like helping somebody. Look at that arm is huge. And like looking at all these proportions I had, oh my goodness, this man is meaty. Big meaty claws. That is just huge. That is humongous. That is ridiculous. But that looks great though. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, of course, like this isn't attached to anything. This is probably just practice. But I knew I drew this with the intent of that character. I was just like, that's just too much. That's not him. Like, that don't read as him. It's too much. And this over here is practice with some notes. Oh my word. That is just that's too much, Mike. That's too much. Here goes some simple shapes and what have you. But wow, just like looking back at all this, it's just like, what? And like here's like a little test page that I did for the book. There's like a professor, a silhouette. He's like asleep in class. It's like, Mr. Daniels. Lecture ended minutes ago. And then he's like, huh? Yes. And he wakes up and it's just like yeah. Oh boy. That doesn't look pleasant. And this is probably like where I was, yeah, going through all of these, I'm like looking at them now, I'm just like, yeah, and I could see where I was like out of it, like when I was drawing stuff. This is like a sketch of Lori, the character I was telling you about with the romance story. Like a sketch of her, what she wears in the story. Oh, look at that, a hand. Another hand. And then this is Aim right here. And it looks like she's like, ooh, let me come up a little bit. Looks like she's like fighting in the rain or something. I was like, yeah, it looks like she's fighting in the rain. She's like blocking somebody, got the fist cocked back, and she's gonna send it up. And I just wanted like a more cinematic pose looking up at her. Yeah. It's nice. I mean, I wasn't like incompetent. It's just I wasn't particularly focused on it, like focused on one thing. And that's also another thing with like undergrad. My undergrad, I was told to like focus on, you should take these classes with these classes. And honestly, what would have helped, I know what would have helped me, was actually doing all my like gen ed requirements first, and then doing all art classes, because I would have just had nothing but art to focus on. And that would have helped me build my portfolio. That would help me like have more of a concentration. Nah, I was recommended to do the worst thing imaginable, which was not focus on art. And honestly, I would have had a better time just focusing on drawing and creating art all the time. Because I would have been forced to just like, oh, this is what I want to do. This is what I have to do. This is what I have to keep doing in order to like get in this career path. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. So this is like a character from that warrior story, the guy with the W. This is a character we were focused on. We were either gonna call him Crow or Ghost. Yeah, it just, yeah. And then look, we have not a Batman, but we have a Robin, and he's saying create, or screaming create. And look at that hand, man. That's a nice hand. But yeah, there was times where you could tell I was down, but like at least like I was still producing. It's just, it was hard, man. Undergrad was hard. And the thing was, is like, what made it hard was taking bad advice from people you thought were doing you good. Here's another character design. His name was Colin Dank. He got rewritten. But this was my favorite, Jarvis the Chicken. Oh my God. Jarvis the Chicken. You can see Jarvis. Oh yes, Jarvis the Chicken. And yes, that's chocolate behind him, not Jarvis the Chicken, man. See, there was a bright spot in all this trauma. But yeah, Jarvis the Chicken, man. He was that dude. He just hated his existence. Oh man, that is funny. Yeah, sketches. I have a girl for the series, love interest. I don't know what's going on there on the left. I definitely can't tell you if there's anything truly being constructed on the right either. Ooh, a Batman. The Batman. And then, oh boy. Yeah, and so this is like a concept that I had going on for the character. Oh my goodness, this is disturbingly bad. It was solid, but as you can see, I struggled with hands because look, they're not finished. Wow, that is funny. Yeah, just more sketches, more notes, and you could tell I was out of it at this point. See, like it's a whole big crossover out of that right there. Another AIM sketch, and like pen sketches. Now these are cool. Like just twisting the body as much as I can. Just being experimental with it. I was broke. Yeah, and that's kind of like the end of that one right there. Yeah, that's the end of that one. Yikes. Yeah. And personally, wow, I was not thinking that I was gonna see bad stuff in this. Not like bad stuff, but things that brought back some tough spots. Because there was a lot going on during that time. That was 2016, most of it. And personally, it was a rough spot. It was, I think that was junior year. It was junior year. And quite honestly, what I should have done was just focused on becoming the best artist I could have become. The sad part about it is that how I'm not trying to crap on like my advisors or school, because like they did the best job they could. It's just, I don't think, like, now that I know, back then personally I needed that forced structure, not all these different things coming at once. Like, I like to be able to refer to information after I've like utilized it, opposed to the other way around, like being in that moment, because it's just too much information. It's just too much being input at the same time. Like putting it into practice after I've learned it. Like, yeah, you're supposed to do it more so simultaneously, and some people can do that a little bit better, but me, I'm just like, oh no, I need to consume it first, let it marinate for like weeks, months, then I can implement it. Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. I really don't know.